We're here at the Effies, and we're here with a Grand Effie winner and two girls from Halo. It's Dean. He is the managing director and the founder. So Dean, I know that a while ago we were chatting and we were talking about your great Lurie wins, and you were saying it's 14 years in the making. And now tonight, literally like a week later, 2 weeks later, we're sitting here and you are the Grand Effie winner. Tell us about that moment. I mean, did you expect it? How did it feel when it happened?
Relief. Yeah, I mean, 14 years is a long time to build an agency, but yeah, to finally get to really feel like you belong and have a seat at the table and prove yourself and prove what you've always believed in, it's an amazing feeling. And I didn't think we were going to win the Grand Effie. Definitely not. Absolutely not. Like, I think we know how good the campaign results were. We gave it as much justice as we could through the entry and try to like write the right results and prove what a success it was for the brand. And I mean, yeah, that's what matters at the end of the day is how well it works for the brand. And we just gave honest answers in terms of how well it did, and we won, and that's really amazing.
Take us through the campaign. It's for Pineapple. Mm-hmm. They are a disruptor in the insurance category, which is quite a difficult category. So tell us a little bit about the challenges and then how your campaign overcame those challenges to get those great results.
Sure. So Pineapple came to us because the category itself has really stayed one-dimensional. They do a lot of the same stuff. A lot of the work in the market is very much around switch and save, it's price-driven, and I think we've seen internationally. We're living in a golden era of marketing effectiveness, and there's so much research and studies out there that show us how the best way to do it is. And that's about building brand in an emotional way. And so we looked at the brand and we had a long discovery phase with the clients in terms of understanding what was the reason why they started the business. And it came down to fairness. They believe that they have built a business that's based on fairness. And so we translated that into a creative campaign around honesty and fairness. And so we wanted to create the most honest campaign that it had ever been. And so we created the campaign that was honest about insurance, honest about advertising, honest about out of home. And then when it came down to just kind of understanding who the market was, there's a generation that insurance companies don't speak to. Yeah. And to speak to that market, they're online, they're engaging with memes. And so we wanted to create something that spoke to them the way they spoke about insurance or things that they were unsure about. And they don't love insurance. And so we owned up to that. And so we created this honest campaign that was self-deprecating. We took the Mickey out of Pineapple, and the client loved it. There's a billboard that says never heard of Pineapple, honesty same. And we took the Mickey out of insurance, we took the Mickey out of everything, and people loved it. People started sharing it, people started making their own versions of the billboards, and people started just buying insurance from Pineapple. And I don't think any insurance company had ever done something which challenged the category to that extent before. And we always believe that take what the industry's doing and try to do something completely different. And that's what we did in the space. And I think the honesty was refreshing. Yeah. I think people responded to it really nicely. And as they mentioned, it got over 600% growth for the business, which is amazing. Yeah.
Especially if you think about economic climate and then also like the target market you were trying to reach. What I found really interesting as well was your use of out of home. I'm a great lover of out of home. I think it's used very badly, especially the creative. And you guys did a really good job of that. So what made you go for the out of home?
I have to give credit to the clients on that. I think it was a conversation that we had with them along the way in terms of where we felt that the best place was to put this campaign. And eventually, Marnus is the CEO and founder of Pineapple. He came up with this philosophy of what he called the volcano technique, which is that a volcano doesn't happen far and wide, but it's heard far and wide. Okay. So we decided to say, well, let's create something that has a lot of sites in a very localized, concentrated area, but hopefully it creates enough traction and noise that people talk about it and people hear about it as far as Cape Town and Durban. And that's exactly what happened. In fact, I think Cape Town has actually been one of the most successful regions of Pineapple, and they've never run an out-of-home campaign in Pineapple. Never run an out-of-home campaign in Cape Town. And so we created this really concentrated area of just basically in Gauteng. And then when we were working backwards and forwards on the media plan and we got the final chase list, there were 106 sites, I think, at the time, in terms of what we had to write for. The thought was to make enough noise around those in a concentrated area that people would hear about them all over the country and hope. We lived in hope. Not often does out of home go into a digital realm, but we lived in hope, and that's exactly what happened. In fact, Cape Town has actually got a huge pineapple audience because of it. And so we got the chase list, and there were 106 sites, and so we decided to write 106 different lines. And to write 106 different lines for out of home, you have to write 500 lines to find the best out of 106. And so we went down that journey, and we just try to make each other laugh. If the line didn't make one of us laugh, like it wasn't good enough, and we eventually managed to whittle it down to what we felt was like the best 106, and we put it out there. And yeah, I love out of home, and I think we've had a lot of out of home media owners thank us for the campaign because they said we managed to make out of home cool again, which is really interesting. And it just seems to work for the campaign, and with a startup brand like Pineapple, you don't have access to every media channel, and you don't want to fragment yourself too thin. So a concentration of a single media was important, and then double down on that, and that's what we did. And so out of home was the choice, and we've stuck to it for the past 2 years.
Oh, it's amazing, really great work. But you won 2 golds, and the other one was also for a very interesting brand, Capital Legacy, who do wills. And I loved that ad. It always spoke to me. I always found it very amusing, although it's about something that isn't. The insight to get to that as well. What made you go that route?
Again, trying to like take a category and seeing how the category, what the traditional norms of the category are, and then trying to do something completely different. And the norms of the life insurance territory or the wills territory is all about legacy and look after your family, and it's incredibly morbid. It's almost fear mongering. And so we took that and we said, well, how do we create a fun spin on that? And so we try to find the drama per se in the category, and if you don't have a will, you leave potentially a lot of drama. And the insight really is that people don't like it when you laugh at your family, but they like laughing at other people's families. And so we created these family environments in which people were happy to laugh at, and so we were able to take a really serious subject matter on death and wills and turn it into funny situations and heighten the drama, and then we kind of explored that. And I think the magic of the campaign actually happened when we did a direct marketing campaign that went to financial advisors. A lot of financial advisors are actually, they're actually the gatekeeper for a lot of people's wills. And by targeting financial advisors, and we target 2,000 financial advisors, and we sent them misfortune cookies. And so we sent these they were black misfortune cookies, and each one had a different hypothetical situation if your client's wills aren't in order. If you don't have a will, where there's no will, there's a grieving widow breathing down your neck, or a business partner wanting to know where shares are. And I think the TV ad plus the out of home plus the radio plus then the targeting the financial advisors kind of created this like really, really good loop, and it closed the loop. And the campaign did really, really well. I think it's an important subject as well. 70% of people in South Africa die without a will, and South Africa loves taking a serious situation and finding the humor in it. And we saw that with that campaign, like the results were amazing. We've got people talking about wills, which is unusual, a very difficult subject to talk about, and we've got people signing wills, which is really, really important.
Yeah. So with your success, what advice would you give to a brand or an agency that not necessarily want to win an Effie as a goal, but want to do a really great campaign that could win an Effie?
Yeah, I think advertising has become a little bit too serious in this country. You've got to have some fun with it. I think if it's clear when the work goes out to the market that you had fun with it or you loved what you did, there's more chance people will love it back. And they'll then love the brand a bit more, or like the brand even a little bit more, and that's super important. I think we've lost the fun. South Africa is legendary for funny advertising, for using our humor to our advantage. And we're kind of tiptoeing around that a little bit at the moment. And I hope, two campaigns that both relied on humor have actually done really, really well and proven that. And I hope more people kind of go that route. And I think in this fragmented digital market as well, like traditional media still really plays a role. Yeah. You can still do some amazing work in traditional media. And what we're actually vying for at the end of the day is attention. And so we've got to push the boundaries a little bit more to try grab the attention of an audience that is watching Netflix, watching Showmax, watching Amazon Prime, and go, how can we create similar entertainment that actually that grabs their attention? And I love the quote that says, entertain for commercial gain. And I think we did that with Pineapple. I think we did that with Capital Legacy, and both brands have actually, they were courageous. I don't like using the word brave. I don't think creative is brave. I think it's smart. Firefighters are brave. Doing creative advertising is smart. It's not brave. But they were bold in their choice. They trusted us in producing the work. They backed the work. They gave it scale. They gave it airtime, and yeah, it reaped the rewards for them, which is amazing to see.
Well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations
Very
once
happy.
again.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.